Hello, basses. Welcome to my studio. Today we are going to talk about fifth position. I know that's a really high number, but you know that basses always have to shift further than anyone else does. So if all of the other people are learning third position, that means you're going to need to learn some fifth position to keep up with them. But it's not hard. You can do it. So let's look first at it. Let me show you what we're going to be doing, and then we'll try it together. So now I'm my fourth finger like I know how to go to, right? And now I can shift to the one in third position and my four, and then I'm going to go up to fifth after that. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. But the part that we need to really figure out first is how are we going to get from third to fifth? So if let's find myself a D, my fourth finger D. You can use your open D to check and see if it's the same note and you're in the right place. Look at the distance between your fourth finger and your first finger. Now imagine that right up here, that distance again. That's where our first finger is going, or very close to it. As bass players, we have to do a lot of listening because it's so far between all of our notes. So I'm going to go from here, my D, and there's my D. So let's try that together. Find your four, and now we're going to go up to our one. Now, funny thing happens with our thumb with it because, well, we run out of neck here, right? Whoops, we should look from the other side. We run out of neck, but our first finger's past there. So what's going to have to happen is our fourth finger is going to start to creep around the side, because eventually as we get really high, our thumb is going to end up going up on top of our fingerboard. This is kind of an awkward place for the bass where we really, thumb isn't on top yet, but thumb isn't behind our fingers like it used to be. So let's do that one more time. And see if you can get your thumb to come along and start to creep around the side. So here's our fourth finger, and up to our one. And while you're there, put down your three. And the four. You may need to bring your elbow up to make that four reach. When we talk about this in the music, I'll actually show you an alternate for that. Actually, let me just show you that now. If I can do my one, and if I don't want, my four doesn't like to reach, I can do a two and a three instead of. So I have either the option of 1, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. As we get higher up on the bass, we're going to stop using our fourth finger altogether anyhow. So when we transition is sort of a personal thing, and it works best for us and our hand. So let's try actually playing back from the D, and then we're going to go up and back down. So find your D. Okay, so D, and then the E for one, and then F sharp, which is either a 2 or a 3, and then a 3 or a 4 for the G. Play that G again, and we're going to go down. And 1, back to your 4. That's what we're going to need and what we're going to be doing today. And it gives you an introduction to third position. Let's look at what that looks like in the music. So here we are in the music looking at a 2-octave scale. I'm just going to review the bottom part, remembering that we have just an F sharp in the beginning. So that means that we're going to need to use a 2 on the G down on the E string when we start. And we're going to need to use a 2 on the A string to get a C natural. And we can use our regular 4 on the F sharp and up to the open G. So now we're on our open G here. So we're going to do our open, 1, 4, and then here's our shift to third position, which you've done many times before. We're going to do 1 and 4, and then here is our shift to fifth position, where we were just going from 4 up to 1. in the first part of this video. And then up here at the top, I said you can either use a 3 and a 4, or the option is a 2 and a 3. Different players will use different things. The thing is if you choose to use 1 to 2, there's a pretty big reach between that 1 and 2. These little marks right here are marking the half step. So in other words, the fingers that are close together. And then we come back down. Of course, we have our option. We could do a 3 and a 2 here if we prefer. And here we are at the end of our 5th position part, and we're going to shift back to the 4 in 3rd position. And from there on down, you're in familiar territory. I hope this has helped you a little bit with knowing something new about 5th position, and I hope it helps you to start to use it and to be able to play the scale.